seeking change. As we've had some correspondence into the website now, we thought it might be nice to give a short question and answer session for me to ask Ian some of the questions that have been coming in from our members. And we had a contact last week, Ian, from a lady who's saying, coming up as we are in the UK towards Mother's Day, how is she going to cope with that visit to her mother-in-law when she always feels criticised by her?
That's an interesting question. Generally speaking, when people criticise or put down or make people feel less than, it's usually because the person who's doing that is feeling insecure. So if we can kind of find out why they may feel insecure, then we can put in place some process to make it easier for them to interact with us. So if we've got a mother-in-law specifically who's been criticising, and then sometimes it's because the person that's being criticised would be seen as being maybe a better mother, maybe somebody who did the job better. It might be something around the feelings that her mother wasn't necessarily interactive with her, and so she forces the new mum, her daughter-in-law, away, in a sense, and criticises to push her away, to make her feel as though she doesn't want to connect. So there can be a lot of reasons for that. But the general rule of thumb, if you like, as a kind of a way of trying to understand it, is to work that it is an insecurity of some sorts, and to then accept that that person needs to feel connected. So you might go around and you might say to the mother-in-law, hi, how are you doing? Obviously a general kind of introduction, and say something that gives her an understanding that you feel not in awe of her, but certainly sort of like in a connection of she does something nice or does something well, or a compliment of some sort. So you might say something like, you know that recipe you gave me last week, that was really good. Or you might say something like, oh, that's really nice what you've done with the house. So you put her in a position where she feels more comfortable and confident first in her own place and space. If it's that the mother-in-law feels very insecure, then it might be that you meet on ground that's not any person's own property. So you might meet in a cafe or a restaurant or something of those kind of natures, where it's a place which hasn't got any kind of power base, if you like. But it is a hard one to understand and to work with. But if you work with the insecurity as a general rule of thumb, and then try to give a compliment or an interaction to the mother-in-law that makes them feel wanted, needed, or expert, or some other position where they feel as though they've got something to say that will be respected, that would normally help. But if people haven't got a real problem with that, then they can email me and see whether or not you feel as though you want to take it a bit further. Or indeed Skype me, and we can have a one-to-one session with that.
Okay. The second question from this same lady was around the feeling that her husband didn't understand her feelings. How could she help him to see that she felt criticised without, as you said, putting her mother-in-law down by explaining to him? How can she do that?
Well, sometimes these kind of things are a no-win situation, certainly for the husband, because they might feel as though they're piggy in the middle. They might feel as though they need to protect their mum, but also protect their wife. And in that process, they can't do anything about it, because it's the relationship between the mother and the wife that's the problem. So the wife, in that sense, might want to have a conversation with the husband and say, look, I'm feeling slightly nervous about going and seeing your mum, because she does tend to put me down. And what I'd like to do, if possible, is for us to go together, and you support me in this with a joined up message that says, actually, this is how we approach your mum, and we both have an understanding of what is going to be said or what's going to be done, so that they can have a joined up message that says, this is us as a team. And the mother-in-law hopefully would then see the son as supportive of the wife, and then want the son on board and bring the wife with her. That can be quite helpful sometimes. But if you're approaching a sticky situation, then it's best to approach as a team and have a rehearsal, if you like, about what you might say and what you might do. And if things do get sticky, how you might make a way of leaving the place, the house, the home. So have a signal between the two of you and says, actually, this is getting too much, and we need to kind of make an exit.
Okay, thanks Ian. That's the first in an occasional series of question and answers. Tune in again next week for more of Ian on his own, giving his wit and wisdom. You've been listening to Ian Wallace, www.seekingchange.co.uk. Thanks for watching.
Take care.